Welcome back to Occupy the Media. To join the conversation, call us at 877-575-FSTV or drop us a line on Facebook or Twitter. In this segment of the show, we want to talk about how the corporate media, the 1% media, is covering the issues that impact the rest of us, the 99%. And with us right now via Skype is Sarah Vangelder, the executive editor of Yes Magazine. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so Sarah, I want to talk about election ad spending and how humongous it's gotten on television. People who are unlucky enough to live in one of these primary or caucus states have already seen so much attack ads and all of these monies coming into local markets, and the television stations are the real beneficiaries of this.
Well, I guess you could say so, but then ordinary people have to live through, some places they're having to watch like 12 an hour, and they're getting nothing but, everybody attacking one another. They're not really getting anything like a discussion of the real issues of the day. So,
and Sarah, of course, political ads and attack ads on television aren't anything new, but the sheer explosion of that, I think, is what has surprised so many people. How did we get to this place here in 2012?
Well, I think you have to go back to Citizens United, this Supreme Court decision from a couple years ago that opened the floodgates to corporate money. Corporations are making so much in the way of profits. They have an enormous amount to spend. And in the current issue of Yes, which is on how to end corporate rule, we look at the kind of bang for the buck they're getting for their contributions to campaigns and to lobbyists. They're getting an enormous return in the form of subsidies and tax breaks. So it's really worth their while to spend a lot of money on campaigns. And here's just one figure. The top 5 contributors to these new super PACs that were created as a result of the Citizens United decision are accountable for like 25% of the money, the billions of dollars that have been, or millions of dollars that have been going into those super PACs.
And Sarah, and for people who aren't as familiar about the Citizens United decision, we have a video of former Secretary of Labor Robert Reich that unpacks the Citizens United ruling. So let's check out that video.
The U.S. Supreme Court decided a case known as Citizens United. The 5-4 ruling said essentially that corporations are people, and for the first time in over 100 years, allowed them to use corporate profits to influence our elections. Secretive front groups quickly sprang up and spent hundreds of millions of dollars on political ads. And 2010 was just a warm-up. In 2012, corporate super PACs are expected to shatter all spending records, and we'll never know where a lot of the money came from. The same big corporations and billionaires that destroyed our economy and caused millions of Americans to lose our jobs and homes are drowning out our voices in elections and taking over our government. But it doesn't have to be that way, because most Americans disagree with Citizens United. Together, we, the people, can set things right. Millions of us are demanding a constitutional amendment to overturn the Citizens United decision and state once again and for all that corporations are not people and money is not speech.
Okay, and that was Robert Reich talking in a video about the Citizens United ruling. And Don, I wanted to ask you about this because there are many entities that are making huge amounts of money off of this, which is the broadcast television companies and corporations, even the cable companies. So how much money is Free Speech TV making off of these attack ads?
Good question.
From the super PACs?
Good question. We're not making a single dime off of this, and we're not going to be engaged in attack advertising in this political season of 2012. We want to highlight the issues. We want to do the analysis that is required, that we think the voting public deserves. But this is an amazing phenomenon. The proliferation of these super PACs, as Sarah pointed out, a direct consequence of Citizens United. The estimates are that in this 2012 election cycle, something like $3.5 billion, billion with a B, is going to be spent on political advertising, most of which is going to be negative, most of which are going to be attack ads. And the reason is that attack ads do work. unfortunately, they are effective. And so, you know, obscene amounts of money is going to be thrown into the creation of these ads in the coming months. We haven't seen anything yet. I know what Sarah said about the caucus states, 12 ads per hour.
And so, Sarah, real quickly, if people want to read the Yes Magazine article about repealing Citizens United, they can pick up Yes Magazine on the newsstands, or they can go to your website?
That's right, yesmagazine.org. The new issue is just brand new out. It may not be on the newsstands yet, but we are posting articles from it at yesmagazine.org.
Okay, so turning now to more serious matters, the Muppets. They've been in the headlines recently after Fox News accused the Muppets of brainwashing kids in their latest film, and Miss Piggy and Kermit have fired back. Let's watch this clip.
Is there any Occupy Wall Street Muppets? There should be. I mean, this is what they're teaching our kids. You wonder why we've got a bunch of Occupy Wall Street people walking around all around the country. They've been indoctrinated literally for years by this kind of stuff. All of that is what they're teaching, is that corporations are bad, oil industry is bad.
You know, it's a funny thing. They were concerned about us having some prejudice against oil companies, and I can tell you that's categorically not true. And besides, if we had a problem with oil companies, why would we have spent the entire film driving around in a gas-guzzling Rolls Royce? He's
got a point.
It's almost as laughable as accusing Fox News as, you know, being news.
Okay, I'm going to put this question to you, Sarah Vangelder. Are the Muppets communists out to destroy our children?
I don't think so. I believe the film is actually owned by Disney, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I do think that they have struck a chord with people in calling out oil corporations as the villains. I mean, people realize that something like 60% of Americans blame the oil companies for this big spike in oil prices that we've been seeing lately, and for good reason. Evidently, 2 out of 3 of the people who are buying oil on the stock market, on the commodities market, 2 out of 3 are speculators. So they're driving up the price way beyond where it needs to be. And they're doing so many other things that are really getting in the way of the kind of world that we want to live. I mean, among other things, they have been, because they are so deeply invested in the dirty oil energy of fossil fuels, they have been one of the key reasons we haven't been able to get any progress on climate change.
And you know, the fact that Fox News freaked out so much about the Muppets movie is just so strange to me, because the villain that's the big developer, or the corporate titan in movies, is just a trope that's been there since film began. But anyway, you've heard enough from us. Now we want to hear from you. The lines are open. Give us a call at 877-575-FSTV, or connect with us on our Facebook and Twitter pages. And on those social media pages, we asked about campaign cash. Do you think there should be a limit on the amount of cash spent on political ads? And here are some of your comments. Brock wrote, I'm not sure if there needs to be a limit, but I can definitely think of better ways to spend money. Liam chimed in with, we honestly need to just do away with the Citizens United and super PACs, then politicians wouldn't have so much money. Asia wrote in with, a portion of the profits received should go to feeding starving children. Okay, and we do have a caller on the line. It's John from New York with a question. John, you're on Occupy the Media.
I would like to congratulate Free Speech TV for your first episode of your wonderful show. We love Free Speech TV here in Central New York, and I have 2 interrelated questions. One is, in our community in Utica, New York, we have deep cuts to police and fire as part of austerity. What can the Occupy movement do to resist austerity measures? And in light of the Greek crisis, what can we do to work together as a global movement?
Okay, some great questions, John. Thanks a lot for your call. So, Sarah, I don't know if you caught all of that, but what John was asking about is that his town in New York, like a lot of municipalities and states and other communities, are having to put in deep cuts to their services, police, firefighters, libraries. He asked, what can citizens in these communities do from an Occupy perspective to help that?
Well, it's a huge question, because it affects us at all different levels, all the way from the national down to the community level. And I think one thing we can do is we can be asking our cities and states to put in fair taxation. Because right now, the very wealthy are getting away with huge amounts of tax breaks. And those kinds of tax breaks are starving the kinds of local government services that we need so badly. So look at where that top 1% is, is where their money is coming from, where it's going, and how we can actually put in a tax system that's a lot more fair.
Okay.
And states can do that as well as at the federal level.
And Donna, real quickly, if you could address
Yes.
actually his comment about the austerity measures being imposed in Greece, because it's somewhat similar.
Very, very similar and very pertinent. What's happening in Greece today, the working people of Greece are being asked to suffer even more than they have had because of the mistakes and the errors made by the big European banks in the 2007-2008 crisis. The people, not only people of Greece, but the people of Italy, Spain, and several other countries in Southern Europe being asked to accept these austerity measures that are being forced on them. What this is going to result in is a contraction of the economies in those countries. Unemployment is going to go up, as it is already in Spain, 23%. Unemployment in Spain, it's unbelievable. We're going to see similar impacts happening in Italy and in Portugal.
And it's an issue
cities.
that certainly here at Occupy the Media we're going to continue covering.
Yes.
And so Sarah Vangelder, executive editor of Yes Magazine, thanks so much for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Congratulations on your first show.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, but first it's time for our video mic check. On Occupy the Media, we want to share your story, so if you have a video you'd like to see on the program, email it to us or post it on our Facebook page. And here's a video that was posted on our Facebook page. 100 dancers from Occupy San Francisco and Oakland joined forces to dance the world awake. It's called One People Flash Mob. Stay tuned.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that bring the trauma. Yeah, madness is what you demonstrate, and that's exactly how anger works and operates. Nigga gotta have love just to set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul gravitate to the love, y'all.
It just ain't the same, always in change. New days are strange, is the world insane? If love and peace is so strong, why are the pieces of love that don't belong? Nations dropping bombs, chemical gases filling lungs of little ones with ongoing suffering. Whoa.
One tribe, one kind, one planet, one race. It's all one blood, don't care about your face, color of your eye, or the tone of your skin. Don't care where you are, don't care where you been. Cause where we gonna go is where we wanna be. The place where the native language is unity, and the continent is called Pangea. And the main ideas are connected like a sphere. No propaganda to try to upper hand us, cause man, I'm loving this. Peace, man.
Hello, I'm Antoinette June with another Occupy update. March 1st is the National Day for Education. The Occupy movement is calling on all students, teachers, workers, and parents from all levels of education to refuse to accept educational resegregation, massive tuition increases, outrageous student debt, and increasing privatization. For more information, please visit occupyed.org.